Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. Sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So today we are talking Kandi Burruss. Anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram Instagrammies at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and don't forget to hit the like button. So we have an update, you guys, on Kandi Burruss's lawsuit with Blaze Steak and Seafood. Because remember, the lawsuit was announced and Kandi wasn't talking about it. But then she talked about it and basically said they were utilizing her name for clout. But let's get into the update, you guys. It says, Kandi Burruss's restaurant backs out of settlement, files counterclaim, records show. A lawsuit over Kandi Burruss's steak and seafood restaurant in Southwest Atlanta appeared to be headed for a settlement with the eatery's landlord, but days later, the reality television star's companies pulled out of the deal, court records show. At issue is a lawsuit filed by the landlord, Montego Pacific Incorporated, over unpaid rent and property damage at the site of Blaze Steak and Seafood. In a complaint filed March 3rd, the landlord alleged that two companies associated with the restaurant and Burruss breached their lease by failing to mention the premises and pay charges when they became due. The landlord claimed that the restaurant groups owe about $154,000, about $56,500 for repairs, and the premises 10% also an overhead fee. The complaint said on March 7th, the case appeared to be headed towards a resolution under the terms discussed by both parties. Lawyers and the restaurant group said that they would pay about $140,510, almost all of the charges the landlord said it was owed. The landlord's attorney drafted a settlement and sent it over the following day, according to a motion to enforce the settlement agreement filed on Monday. But a filing in Fulton County Superior Court shows Burruss's companies retained new lawyers and filed a counterclaim. According to the counterclaim filed Friday, so this past Friday, the restaurant suffered water damage and leaks in the interior walls and foundation of the premises. They allege that the damage was the result of the faulty plumbing and piping structures throughout the space. The lease says the tenant shall perform all maintenance to the premises with a list of exceptions that include plumbing, pipes, and foundations, according to the Blaze complaint. Blaze's new legal team contends that no enforceable settlement existed because the defendants hadn't executed any documents and there wasn't a mutual consent to its terms, according to the motion filed on Monday. At Mana McKinnon, sorry if I'm butchering your name, currently representing the restaurant groups, did not respond to a request for comment. Ken Maloney, sorry if I'm butchering your name, the former counsel for the groups, also did not respond. In a statement, the landlord denies the allegations set forth in the defendant's counterclaim. The group believes the court will enforce the settlement which the parties agreed to on March 6th through defendant's prior attorney. The companies associated with Blaze have been prohibited from opening the restaurant for more than 4 months, according to the counterclaim, while the landlord initiated repairs with vendors. This has resulted in a financial loss of about $423,870 in profit, inventory, and staff-related charges. The landlord hasn't accepted rental payments between July 2024 and March 2025 from the companies to compel them to accept the cost of the repairs to the space, according to the counterclaim. The monthly lease amount is about $12,000 per month. About 2 weeks after submitting its complaint, the landlord filed a motion to drop Burruss from the lawsuit. This is because the personal guarantee Burris signed for the lease expired before the lawsuit was filed. Burris' release from the case in her personal capacity had not yet been granted by the court as of late Monday. Last week, Burris publicly addressed the lawsuit during an Amazon Live broadcast. She said she thinks the landlord put her name on the lawsuit to get publicity. The rest is being worked out because it really was a disagreement about some repairs that they made and then who would be responsible for it, Burris said during the broadcast. The broadcast. Burris, one of the longest-serving cast members of the Real Housewives franchise, opened Blaze along with Cascade Road in Southwest Atlanta in 2020 with her husband, Todd Tucker. The restaurant is one of 2 full-time restaurants the couple owns. They opened a Southern Comfort food restaurant in Castleberry Hill in 2017 called Old Lady Gang, y'all. Child, this is a hot mess. This is a hot mess. So Kandi said that they added her name for clout, but according to this article, Kandi is still very much on this lawsuit as of Monday. See, I don't understand at all. And it's fine. I understand Kandi's been promoting her Broadway play. She's been doing these interviews. She's been doing these Amazon Lives. And she's been talking a lot as it pertains to housewives. But then when you finally address the elephant in the room, which is your restaurants, and that is plural, you said that they were utilizing your name for clout regarding this lawsuit, and then you still have yet to address one of your locations of OLG being permanently closed. And referring people, to go to the other location? No. What? Honestly, you guys, we got to keep it a buck. We've got to keep it a buck about these Real Housewives and some of these business ventures that they feature on the show. And then once they're no longer on the show, everything goes up in flames. We got to talk about it. But what is really disheartening is a lot of the reasons that people are going to OLG and going to Blaze is because they're going for support of Kandi. It is a tourist attraction based off the fact that we saw in Real Housewives Kandi open up these businesses. And for people to still be able to make reservations as if it is legitimately open, only for them to show up and find out that it is closed, and that it has been closed, and that it's still going to be closed. Because y'all still got to figure out the situation. Like, it's not a good look. Why can't you get on your internet and get on in front of your millions of followers and tell the people that both of your restaurants are closed and one is in a lawsuit at the moment, the other one is closed permanently, and let's keep it a buck for what it's about. But the other side too is you don't have time to run these restaurants. Especially if you're trying to dive into more Broadway, films, TV, all of that. Movies, you're not going to have time. There's a lot of pre-production that's involved. There's a lot of things that move behind the scenes when you're talking TV. When you're talking being a producer. So you don't have this time to, if you're spending, let's just give example for this play, for Othello. If you had spent all this significant time in New York City for table reads, for dress rehearsals, for reworking of the scripts, for different meetings about set, about budget, about all of these things, where is the time to devote to the actual business? Where is the time to devote to the restaurants? And that's my whole thing. That is my whole thing, you guys. But none of the less, we're in a position now where you're telling us one thing, Kandi, and clearly the people who are tracking this case are saying the other. Because you're saying that they had your name, on this for publicity, on this lawsuit for publicity. But according to this article, you're very much still a part of this lawsuit. And you said that it was just a small issue of people figuring out what repairs and things need to be done. The people are thinking that the matter was going to be settled, that the debt was going to be paid, only for you to fire your existing attorneys and hire a new set of attorneys and file a countersuit. So basically, this is going to be tied up in court further. Blaze is still going to continue to be closed further, and we're not going to get anywhere anytime soon. Because whatever the resolution is going to be, the bottom line is there is significant issues and damage done to the infrastructure of this restaurant. So even if this does get resolved in a timely manner, you still have to factor in the time it's going to take for all these repairs to happen. And it sounds like what happened is the landlord initiated some of the repairs and things because y'all were MIA. Y'all were busy on Broadway. Y'all trying to work for that Tony Award. But nonetheless, y'all are coming back to talk about, well, there's more issues. There's this, and this. And we've lost all this money. But y'all weren't thinking about the money when y'all got your hands in all these different pots. But now all of this is coming out now that you're no longer on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that is what I am talking about, y'all. Running restaurants, being an owner of restaurants, it is one of the hardest things to do, y'all. And yes, it is nice when you have a $2 million salary, allegedly, to cover a lot of these costs. And it's willy-nilly. But when that $2 million check is no more. And yes, we can brag about the gross of how well Othello is doing on Broadway. But again, we don't know. We have to factor in all the people that's involved in that. So, yes, the gross is great. It's great news for Kandi, but it's different compared to her getting a solo check of allegedly $2 million for Real Housewives of Atlanta versus whatever has to be distributed amongst the record-breaking I think it's nearly 3 million in ticket sales. Y'all got to break all that down on where all of that money is going to. Whereas Kandi directly is getting that $2.1 million check from Real Housewives of Atlanta before taxes, y'all. So there's that. That is all I got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.